All right, so um, have you ever wondered, like, what really sets billionaires apart when it comes to money?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, forget the yachts and the private jets for a sec,
Right.
right? Want to understand, like, the actual habits, the thinking, the stuff that actually builds lasting wealth.
Mm-hmm.
So today we're going deep on this video that breaks down, like, the secret money habits of billionaires.
Oh, interesting.
Ready to kind of decode the billionaire playbook.
Absolutely. I think it's fascinating because, what we often see as luck with these folks is actually a very specific set of habits and approaches to money.
Right.
And you'd be surprised, this video reveals that it's not always about, like, flashy spending or taking huge risks.
Yeah, it's not just how much they have, it's how they think about it, right?
Right, exactly.
This whole concept of a billionaire mindset that the video talks about, that's what really got me hooked.
It's a really powerful idea. And one of the key elements is this growth mindset. Billionaires, they seem to be wired to see challenges as opportunities to learn and level up their skills.
Oh, interesting.
Imagine, like, instead of getting bogged down by a setback, they analyze it, take out the lessons, and they apply those to their next venture.
So they're constantly, like, evolving and refining based on
Yeah,
experience.
precisely. And they're not afraid to fail, which is so counterintuitive to how we, most of us approach risk.
Yeah.
There's a story in here about a billionaire whose major business venture just flopped. I mean, completely tanked.
Oh, wow.
You would think that would be, like, devastating, right?
Right.
But he used it as, like, a learning experience, and he applied those lessons to his next venture, which ended up being this massive success.
That's incredible. It's like turning failure into fuel.
Exactly.
But that takes, I mean, some serious mental fortitude.
It does. And it ties into another crucial aspect of this mindset, which is long-term thinking. Billionaires, they play the long game,
Mama.
making decisions today with a vision for years, even decades down the line.
So no chasing quick wins.
Exactly. They're laser focused on their vision.
Sticking to it.
They stick to it, even when things get tough.
Okay, so we've got this growth mindset, embracing failure, long-term vision. What else did this video reveal about how they approach money differently?
Well, let's talk about investment strategies. I mean, everyone knows billionaires invest, but it's not always in the ways that we might expect.
This is where it gets juicy. What are they doing that's different?
Diversification.
Okay.
They spread their wealth across a range of assets: stocks, bonds, commodities, real estate, you name it, minimizing risk by not putting all their eggs in one basket.
That's smart, but we hear about diversification all the time. What's the billionaire, like, twist here?
It's the types of assets they choose. Like, for example, they might be looking at emerging markets or private equity deals, or even investing in things like rare art and collectibles,
Well,
assets that most of us wouldn't even consider.
so they're not sticking to the usual stocks and bonds. They're, like, branching out.
Right. And then there's the investment they emphasize that most people completely overlook.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me about this unexpected investment strategy.
Investing in themselves.
Oh, okay.
Continuously learning, improving their skills, and expanding their knowledge base.
Interesting.
They see it as an investment that always yields returns.
So it's not just financial investments, it's personal growth as a form of wealth building.
Absolutely. And they take it to a whole other level, The video gives an example of Warren Buffett. The guy's a legendary reader, always absorbing information and learning new things. But it goes beyond reading. They might hire, like, top-tier coaches, attend exclusive seminars, or invest in personalized learning experiences that give them a competitive edge.
So they're curating their own education based on their specific goals.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about spending habits? Are we talking solid gold yachts and diamond-encrusted everything?
Actually, no. The video debunks that myth entirely. A lot of billionaires are surprisingly frugal,
Really?
even when they can easily afford the most lavish things.
So it's not all about, like, flaunting wealth, showing off.
Not at all. There's a story about a billionaire who drives an older practical car even though he could buy any luxury vehicle. It's about getting value for their money, not necessarily chasing the most expensive option.
Right, so it's about being intentional with their spending.
Exactly. They still budget, they track expenses, and they avoid unnecessary debt.
So frugality and discipline are still important, even at that level.
Oh, yeah. They respect money no matter how much they have.
Okay, so we've got mindset, investment strategies, and spending habits. What else did this video uncover about the world of billionaire money moves?
One of the most interesting aspects is their focus on connections.
Okay.
Millionaires are masters at building relationships and leveraging their networks.
The power of connections, it's not just what you know, it's who you know, right?
Great.
But how do billionaires approach networking differently?
They surround themselves with a very carefully curated network of like-minded individuals, people who motivate them, challenge them, and help them grow. They're at industry conferences, they're active in their communities, and they're constantly expanding their circle of influence.
So it's about strategically building relationships with people who can help them achieve their goals.
Precisely. And they use those connections to get access to um, investment opportunities, partnerships, valuable market insights. It's like having a direct line to information and resources that most people wouldn't even know exist.
That's incredible. It's like they're creating a personalized ecosystem of support and opportunity.
Exactly. And a big part of that ecosystem is mentorship. Billionaires actively seek out mentors who have already navigated the complexities of wealth creation and can offer guidance, share experiences, and help them avoid those common pitfalls.
It's like a shortcut to success, learning from those who've already walked the path.
It is, and it's not about finding just any mentor. They look for the best of the best, people who have achieved extraordinary things.
Okay, so we've got the billionaire mindset, strategic investments that go beyond the usual surprising emphasis on frugality, and the power of connections. What else stood out to you from this deep dive into how billionaires approach money?
You know, I was really struck by the emphasis on giving back.
Okay.
It's not just about charity, although that's part of it. Many billionaires see philanthropy as an investment in itself.
That's an interesting perspective. How does giving back translate into an investment?
Well, they recognize that philanthropy can foster goodwill, strengthen community ties, and even open doors to new business opportunities.
Oh, so it's like creating a ripple effect. The more you give, the more positive energy you put out in the world, and that can come back to you.
Exactly. It's about making a real impact and contributing to something larger than themselves. You know, the video gives examples like Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg, Oprah Winfrey. They're all known for their significant philanthropic efforts. And it's not just about the money they give, it's the time and energy they invest in making a difference.
It really is inspiring to see that level of commitment. It
Yeah.
seems like there's a connection between financial success and a desire to give back.
Absolutely. And it's not just pure altruism. Philanthropy can enhance personal branding, build a legacy that extends beyond their lifetime, and even attract like-minded individuals who want to be a part of something meaningful.
So it's a win-win. They get to make a difference in the world, and it can actually benefit their businesses and their personal brands.
It's a fascinating cycle. It really challenges that notion that wealth and generosity can't coexist.
Right, right. So we've explored the billionaire mindset, their strategic investment approaches, the surprising emphasis on frugality, the power of connections, and the important role of giving back. What's the biggest takeaway from all of this? What does it mean for those of us who aren't billionaires yet?
Well, most important thing is that these habits aren't exclusive to the ultra-wealthy. They're principles that anyone can apply, regardless of their current financial situation.
So it's not about the amount of money you have, it's about your approach to it. These habits can help anyone build wealth and achieve their financial goals.
Absolutely. And that brings up a really important question for you. What stands out to you the most from all of this? What's one habit you could start incorporating into your own life right now?
That's a great question to ponder. And I think you're right. This is about so much more than just aspiring to be a billionaire. It's about using these insights to make smarter choices no matter where you are on your financial journey.
It's about taking control of your finances, thinking strategically, and building a solid foundation for the future. And maybe, just maybe, some of these billionaire habits can help you get there a little faster. But that brings up a question that wasn't directly addressed in our source material today, and it's really got me thinking.
Ooh, I love where this is going. What's got you wondering?
We talked about billionaires investing in themselves, but I'm curious how that changes as someone actually gains wealth.
Yeah.
Does it shift from learning new skills to protecting what they've already built?
That's a fascinating question. It makes me think about how the whole definition of investment might evolve when you're dealing with that level of wealth.
Right.
Early on, it's probably all about acquiring the knowledge and skills to increase your earning potential.
Yeah.
But once you've reached a certain level of success, maybe it becomes more about preserving capital, managing risk, even building a legacy that goes beyond your own lifetime.
Exactly. It could shift from building wealth to stewarding it responsibly, and that might lead them to invest in areas like philanthropy or political influence or even funding scientific research.
Interesting.
Places where the return on investment isn't purely financial but could have a huge impact on the world.
So instead of just focusing on growing their own wealth, they start to think about using it to create a lasting positive impact.
Precisely. It really highlights the idea that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to money management.
Right.
What works for someone who's just starting out might be completely different from what works for someone with a billion-dollar portfolio.
It's like leveling up your financial strategy as you go.
Yeah.
But even with all this talk about billionaires, I think it's important to bring it back to a level that everyone can relate to.
Sure.
What would you say to someone who's listening to this and thinking, okay, this is all great, but I'm barely making ends meet?
Yeah.
How do these billionaire habits actually help me?
That's a great point. It's easy to get caught up in the world of billionaires and feel like these habits are out of reach.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'd say start with the mindset. Even if your finances are tight right now, adopting that growth mindset can make a world of difference. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by your current situation, focus on what you can control.
Right.
Ask yourself, what skills can I improve? What knowledge can I gain that will help me increase my earning potential?
It's like investing in yourself, even if you don't have a lot of money to invest in stocks or real estate right now.
Absolutely. And there are so many ways to do that without breaking the bank.
Yeah.
There are tons of free resources online. Libraries are full of knowledge. And there are often affordable workshops and courses offered in local communities.
Right.
It's about being proactive and making a commitment to learning and growing, even if it's just a little bit every day.
So even if you're starting small, you can still apply these principles and start building a foundation for future success.
Precisely. And don't underestimate the power of those small changes.
Right.
If you can start incorporating even one or two of these billionaire habits into your daily life, you might be amazed at the long-term impact.
It's about building momentum, right?
Exactly. Small, consistent actions can lead to huge results down the line.
Exactly. And it's important to remember that financial success is a journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs, but as long as you stick with it, keep learning and stay adaptable, you'll be well on your way to achieving your goals.
It goes back to embracing the challenges, learning from setbacks, and always moving forward.
That's the key. And don't be afraid to reach out for support. Find a mentor, connect with people who have similar goals, and build a network that will encourage and motivate you.
That's where the power of community comes in. Surrounding yourself with the right people can make a huge difference.
Absolutely. And don't forget about the power of giving back. Even if you don't have extra money to donate right now, you can always volunteer your time or skills to a cause you care about.
Yeah.
It's a great way to make a difference in the world, and it can actually benefit you in unexpected ways.
So we've taken these seemingly unattainable billionaire habits and broken them down into actionable steps that anyone can take. What's the final thought you'd want to leave our listener with today? I think the most important takeaway is that financial success is within everyone's reach.
Okay.
It's not about luck or privilege. It's about making smart choices, developing positive habits, and consistently putting in the effort.
It's about taking control of your financial future and creating the life you want. And who knows, maybe someday we'll be doing a deep dive into your money habits. But before we wrap up, I have one more thought that's been bouncing around in my head. We talked about how billionaires invest in themselves. But something I'm really curious about is, what are they learning?
Yeah.
Is it always like business focused?
Yeah.
Or do their learning priorities change as their wealth grows?
That's a great question. And it really gets at like the heart of what motivates these individuals early on. Sure, they might be laser focused on acquiring business acumen, financial literacy, maybe even specific industry knowledge. But as their wealth expands, their interests might broaden as well. They might dive into history, philosophy, art, philanthropy, areas that fuel their curiosity and contribute to their personal growth rather than directly like impacting their net worth.
So it's almost like they're moving from a purely practical approach to learning to something that's more about like expanding their horizons.
Exactly.
And understanding the world on a deeper level.
They're not just looking for the next business opportunity.
Yeah.
They're seeking knowledge and experiences that enrich their lives and make them more well-rounded individuals.
That's a really interesting perspective.
Yeah.
It challenges the stereotype of the billionaire who's solely focused on the bottom line.
It does, and I think it speaks to the idea that true success isn't just about financial wealth.
Right.
It's about personal fulfillment, intellectual curiosity, and a desire to make a positive impact on the world.
That's a powerful message. So as we wrap up our deep dive into the money habits of billionaires, what's the one key takeaway you'd want to leave our listener with today?
I'd say it's this. Success, whether financial or otherwise, it's not about luck.
Okay.
It's not about privilege. It's about having the right mindset,
Yeah.
making smart choices, and consistently putting in the effort.
Hmm.
It's about being willing to learn, adapt, and grow no matter where you are on your journey.
So it's about taking control of your own destiny, being intentional with your actions, and never stopping learning. It's been a fascinating exploration of wealth and mindset. Thanks for joining us today.